All right, man, I'm excited. You know why?
Why? Why are you excited?
We're part of the Den.
Ooh, we're here having some whiskey in the den. Hanging out in the den. It's like the man den.
Yeah.
What's the den?
Den is the Deluxe Edition Network, an awesome network of podcasts that you could check out at deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Check out all the podcasts there. Lots of good stuff, including now, fresh and new, Bacon is My Podcast. What's your bacon?
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Welcome, everybody, to Bacon is My Podcast. Jimmy and Mike here with the guitar players of the band A Story Told, Josh and Jason. Dudes, what's going on?
How's it going?
What's happening?
Completely different day.
It's a completely different day. We're all dressed the same.
We're
Long time no see.
Yeah, right?
super
Thanks
excited
for coming back.
because at the end of the week, brand new record coming out.
Yeah, just a few days.
It'll be your fourth record, correct?
The fourth full-length record, yes. Somehow.
Well, I know you guys do
Guys, you write
everything.
a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Too many.
I know you guys do a lot of. You're pretty much all DIY. You do all of your stuff. This record was it self-produced as well?
Yeah. We there's 12 songs on the record. We wrote every single song, produced it, engineered it. Really, the only outside help is we send it off to mix and mastering. But yeah, the production and writing is all us, for better or for worse.
Were either of you guys, like, when you first started the band and went in to record the first things that you did, was anybody already kind of into that side of it? Or was it just kind of like, okay, somebody's got to figure out how to do this now?
Yeah, so Jason was actually not in the band originally. We knew Jason because he was producing and mixing our music.
Nice.
And I guess we broke him down, and he, wanted to join the band, or we asked him to join the band. And so that was really helpful because, we inherited somebody that already did that stuff. So
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's been cool too, because like, I don't know, do either of you guys record or produce or anything like that?
That's what this place is for. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I feel like this happened with like other bands that I worked with too when I was producing stuff, but like the more you work with a band, you kind of feel like they start to form their own like style, and they kind of get the hang of things a little bit themselves. And it's been cool to watch like Josh and Alex kind of take over that, to where like I'm probably doing less now than I ever have, even from when I wasn't in the band. So it's been cool to watch them kind of like grow and kind of hone those skills of their own.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a few times. Self-production is such a weird animal, and like recording by yourself is such a weird animal. Like just recently, with my latest single that's going to be coming out, I would just like, I want to be alone. I just want to do vocals by myself and whatever. And it's hard to cut off that, like, it's hard to make that switch between, okay, I'm an engineer, okay, I'm a performer, and I gotta create that best performance and stuff like that. Jason, when you joined the band, did you have any of that kind of stuff happen? I mean, you're not singing or anything like that, but you're doing guitar work and whatnot. Do you have a hard time, flipping that switch when you're like, okay, I gotta perform, okay, I gotta put engineer hat on, that kind of thing?
I don't know if I necessarily realized kind of the struggle like you're talking about so our last album, I only mixed one song, and that was the first thing that I hadn't mixed. And I didn't realize until then how nice it is to have that separate set of ears, like in the process, because you just get so like into it and you've heard everything a million times, and you start to get to the point where you're like, I don't know what sounds good anymore. Like what does this song need? Like, what are we even doing? And so I feel like having somebody outside the band kind of with mixing and mastering, just getting like 2 outside sets of ears on it at the end of the process has just been like super helpful.
Timeout.
Yeah.
Have you guys checked out bigismypodcast.com yet?
It's like the portal to everything big as my podcast. It's got episodes. It's got music.
Yeah.
It's got swag.
Yeah.
And it has a portal to all of our sponsors, our awesome sponsors like grillyourassoff.com, Drink Wild Bills, Manscaped, and, of course, Mythical Beards.
Mythical Beards, yeah. So check it out. I mean, you can just, from one page, find so many things.
Yes.
Right? Check out our swag. Check out their swag. Get those discount codes and just, help out the show.
Exactly. And always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
Yep.
Hey, this is Ron. Do you like movies?
Hey, this is Ragnar. Y'all like alcohol?
Hey guys, this is Stu. Do you like punishments?
Hey, this is Goop. Do you like cinephiles?
Hey everybody, I'm Chase. You guys like alcohol poisoning?
If you like all of that, then check us out at Barrel Age Flips. We're on Apple, Spotify, and all the other platforms out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a similar, like, my previous drummer in my band engineered everything for us and started as just an engineer for me as a songwriter, and then we kind of like formed the band around all that. And so it was always me and him for years. And then when he left the band to go do other things and we got a different drummer, they don't do that. I'm not an engineer. And so it was like, then we had to go like, oh shit. All right. Now I have to figure out how to do some of this or people to work with. And it was like, very quickly I was like, oh man, I can't do this on my own. I need some other ears. And it was realizing how invaluable it was to have someone in the band that can do those things, and having a number of people in the band that can do those things is pretty, it's got to be, I'm sure it's a struggle at times figuring out like whose idea do we go with, or who's got the vision that's really into it or something, whatever. But just having those extra ears and those extra people to go like, I'm hearing this, brings out the best in everything. At least that's how what I've found. And like I said, you guys have released so many songs that like they have more songs out than I do.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of songs out.
You have a lot of, yeah.
I was like, holy shit. This is awesome. This is great.
So like pre-COVID, you guys were on the road a lot. I don't know how much post-COVID touring you guys have done. But like something that somebody literally brought up to me this week is there are stages now that are requiring quiet stages. Like they don't want the bands to have amps anymore.
Oh yeah, a couple of those places have popped up.
Have you guys have you guys since COVID or pre-COVID or anything, have you made that like digital switch? Are you guys still doing the amp kind of thing, or a little bit of both? Where are you guys stand on that?
Yeah, so we played the first show after COVID. We played in Nashville. It was us and 3 other bands, and all 4 bands roll in with, like the flight case with like the in-ear system, all the Kempers, and like the engineer at the venue was just like not prepared for all of these like self-contained bands, because like you're saying, like Jason and I are both digital amps. Just because, I don't know, we're getting old and don't want to log, like a 4x12, it just like makes more sense, like economically and physically, to go a little more digital. Because at the end of the day, it's like, that sound is coming out of like the front of the house speakers. And that's what like the audience is listening. They're not listening to the amp on the stage. They're listening to what's being mic'd up, or like the bass. The bass is direct. And it's like, why throw your back out to like
nobody's ever heard your sweet tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, like when I go to a live show, I just hear like drums. Like drums is what I hear the most.
Yeah.
Bass and like the vocal. It's like guitar's kind of in there, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know. So it's like you can spend like your whole practice like dialing in a tone, but at the end of the day, who really cares? Like no one's ever walked away from like a concert. Man, that guitar sounded awesome. So yeah, we're totally digital. We do the whole in-ear system. Because I mean, with our music, there's just so much stuff that we have to like send through as tracks, just because we don't have like I don't know, like a 6-piece horn section that travels with us, or like like 10 synthesizers on stage.
All the ear candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, we have to do the whole like playing to like a click and throwing samples out to the front of the house, where like the guitar is just kind of a layer inside of all of that. So yeah, we're totally digital. So yeah,
that's cool.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, I think everybody's kind of going that way. But it surprised me that he was like, "There's quiet stages," and I'm like, "What? What do you?"
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that.
Because like,
I've seen some of those DJ sets where everybody's in headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
like the silent dance parties. Yeah. So it's like you walk into a room and it's just people that are like.
It's so
like,
weird.
I don't hear anything.
It's legit weird to me because I just remember just before COVID, just before everything got shut down, that's when I started going Helix, and I had like a power amp, like 100-watt power amp, as like a just in case.
I remember that.
I couldn't plug direct, and like 3 or 4 stages were just like. What is this? What is this sorcery?
Yeah.
What do you mean no amp? No, it's got to plug into an amp. And I was like, all right, cool. I got a power amp. No worries.
Yeah.
But then immediately after, it was like, you got an amp, sucker. It's so weird. It's so weird how overnight it just like.
I always found it so weird when sound guys couldn't handle it, because I was like, I'm gonna go to the mic that you have in front of the cab, and I'm gonna take the cable out, and I'm gonna plug it into the front of this.
Yeah.
You don't do anything else.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Like that little bit of panic whenever you show up and the sound guy like doesn't know what to do, because we never had like backup amps or anything, or even when we started running in-ears, like we show up and they look at you kind of weird and you're like, well, we can't play if he doesn't know what to do with this, so
right.
I hope he figures it out.
I mean, have you guys ever like, do you guys have a set amount of tracks that you need? Because it like a friend of ours, great band, the Neon Skyline, just put out a new EP. It's fucking awesome.
Really, really. Everybody go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are some places they legit can't play. Now I run tracks, but it's like it's a way different system than what he has. But he's like, oh, if we can't do 23 inputs, we can't run our stuff. And I'm like,
smokes.
What?
Yeah, they have a crazy.
I'm like, so you can't play anywhere whenever you fucking want?
Right.
That sounds really annoying. It sounds really annoying and stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys have anything like that, or is it just like, all right, well, as long as you got the stuff for guitars, bass, drums,
and running these two
and
inputs,
my tracks,
let's go.
Yeah, stereo tracks.
I will say, like, since we have gone to this system, you kind of have to be picky, like where you play.
Sure.
I mean, it sucks. Like, we grew up with like, playing like community centers and stuff like that. It's like our live show now.
Halls.
Yeah. It's like you're not going to be able to like.
You got the little 4-channel PA.
Yeah, right. With like just 2 speakers, maybe like 2 floor monitors if you're like extremely lucky. But like something like that, we could never do that now. To get like, for like live music, it's supposed to be enjoyable to the listener, and just like doing that, it would be like the total opposite. I mean, luckily, we're not really running like left and right guitars, and like we have just like a line for each guitar, a line for bass, maybe 3 or 4 vocals, and then like a sample track, and then drums. So it's not anything like too crazy, just because I feel like we know like, what we can get by with like the venues that we are playing. Obviously, if like, none of that was an issue, like we would be pretty maxed out. But it's pretty straightforward, honestly.
You can always scale up.
Yeah.
It makes it tough if you have too high of a floor. You're like, ugh.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, so we run a system where basically, and this is kind of like standard now, we basically show up to a venue and we just throw them like a snake with like, 10 to 15 inputs. It's like most of the time we're not even like asking the venue to like, hey, can you plug your drum mics into our system? It's like, we'll just go without them, like in our ears, just because we do play with like a click track. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, it is an extra thing you have to think about when like booking a show. It's like, because you want it to sound good. Because obviously you're up there, you're the representation for that sound. It's like if the sound's bad, they're going to be like, well, you guys are bad, because they don't really care about like the technicality of it all.
Right. Well, you also put a lot of time and effort into making the songs and the record sound great. So
yeah.
You want to bring as much of that as you can,
to
an audience as a representation,
Right.
So, do you guys have tour plans or plans on getting out on the road, and now with this new, with the in-ear system and stuff like that, have you had any bit of a hard time hitting those places that you may have hit prior to COVID or prior to going in ears?
So yeah, like I was saying, I mean, like we kind of have to, when we're working with the promoters to booking these shows, we kind of have to, make sure like they're aware of like our system. Most of the time you're like sending them like a stage plot, stage inputs and stuff like that, and they can kind of sign off on it. But I would say like places that we have played in the past, there might be some venues where we wouldn't be able to do that now. In terms of like tour plans, this is record number 4 for us that we've done ourselves. So I don't know, we're kind of exhausted from doing that, where we kind of just want to get this record out, have people start listening, and then like hit the road next year with all that stuff. So
planning for summer.
Yeah. Like spring, summer of next year. Now that the record's out, we don't really have to, we've recouped from, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize how much work it actually takes to get that song on Spotify. I mean, it's like months, years, and especially if you're doing it yourself, like, it's a lot of man hours. And most of the time, like the last thing you're thinking of is like, okay, I can't wait to like drive like 500 miles to play a show, to play this song. Where, you just kind of need to like recharge. And I think I feel like that's honestly like the formula for like major artists. I mean, you think of like Taylor Swift, and, obviously we're nothing like that, but it's like she spends so much time like creating this world for this record and getting these songs out there, where like the tour in itself, it's kind of its separate thing. She's not touring to like support the record or get the name of the record out there. She's like bringing that experience on the road. And I think I feel like we'll see like more and more of that, just because I feel like people latch on to the actual music first more these days, where in the past, like when I was growing up, it was like a band's touring in or like coming through, I see them and I fall in love, then I check out their music. I feel like it's the opposite right now, where it's like, oh, I found them on a playlist. Are they touring? So I think that's kind of where our mindset is right now. I don't think we're going to really like do the quote unquote grind. We kind of want the music to speak for itself. And then, luckily it's well received and people want to see a live show. But until then, we're going to just really focus on the music. So that was kind of a long-winded answer.
Hey, bud.
What's up?
Guess what time it is?
Fall.
Yes. You know what that means? That means that the trees are shedding their leaves.
Indeed. You know what does not shed leaves automatically?
Chesticles, testicles, and cheeks.
Right. So it is time for some fresh ball fall action.
Yeah.
My friends.
Manscaped, the Lawnmower 4.0, featuring their patented skin-safe technology.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you're not using Manscaped yet, what are you waiting for? Come on.
And what do your balls look like? Ooh.
Right? It's got an LED light, so if you're worried about nicking something or not being able to see, You don't have to worry, man. The lawnmower has it.
Shave in the dark.
Exactly. It's waterproof.
It is waterproof.
Go into the shower. If you don't want to make a mess outside the shower, go in the shower.
Shave in a dark shower.
Yeah, you can do that with Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com, use the promo code BACONPOD, it'll give you 20% off and free shipping.
Free shipping.
And it's not even just for the lawnmower.
No, it's for everything. You can get the crop mops, shampoo, they have body soap, they have lotions, all kinds of things. Check it out, manscaped.com. If you can't remember the promo code, just jump over to baconsbypodcast.com and check out our sponsors page.
Always remember to clean your testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks with Manscaped.
Yeah, man. What's your bacon?
No,
It
I
makes
think
a lot of sense, though.
Yeah. That's a really cool approach, I think, too. I mean, like, we're now in the age of Spotify's and
Right.
and
The idea of supporting a
analytics
record
and stuff
really
like that
makes sense the same way anymore.
So you can kind of see, okay, well, this is doing really well here. This is where we want to bring this experience.
Created demand.
That's a really cool, we've talked about that a number of times about how you approach it that way. But the whole experience thing, that's definitely something I hadn't really thought about.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like. Sorry to interrupt.
Go.
I feel like COVID in a way, because we always were a band that felt like if we weren't, in the middle of recording an album, we got to be out like doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think COVID in a way almost like took some of that pressure off, because like nobody could tour and like the Spotify numbers and everything still kept growing.
Right.
So it's like, okay, maybe it's not the shows. Like maybe it's okay if we're not constantly just always like trying, okay, well, we got to play a show now. We got to play a show now.
Right.
And so it's weird, like that time where we couldn't do anything, I feel like almost took some of the pressure off, and was like, okay, maybe we don't have to like Josh said, maybe we don't have to like grind as hard on the road as we used to, because that's not how people are finding music anymore.
Yeah, I think for new bands, it's a very different ball game, because it used to be like, okay, we're gonna get attached to this tour package and we're gonna be discovered that way. Whereas now, you see younger bands getting added to these tour packages and they're leaving with less than they left. They left to go on the road with, and not necessarily hitting and stuff like that, and not so. I feel like nowadays, unless you're established, you're not on that album cycle.
Right.
You're not on that. You're just on that. Okay, trickle out a new song, 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 and keep an audience engaged until you pop something. And it's really interesting that the whole like post-COVID music industry and how things are working. And then like, for a band like you guys, I think, it's probably one of those things where it's like, okay, let's see if we can get on some of these festivals in the summer and the fall and stuff like that, where you get on those big stages and stuff like that, as opposed to grinding it out, like you said, going to New York and playing on a Wednesday night at 1 a.m.
Yeah, well, I think people now, they look like, if they're gonna go to a show, they decide what time they're going to that show by checking out all the bands on the show on Spotify. And seeing, so if you don't have something on Spotify and you're trying to build your name by doing the grind, you're missing out on that opportunity of somebody to go like, oh, what are they like? Let me listen to them first and go, oh, I like them. Now I'll go. Like, people they're wanting an appetizer of you.
Well,
they want a sample.
I think we're also not in an age where like we're in Iowa and we go, okay, well, there's a local show playing. Okay, cool. Let's just go.
Right.
And see what happens. I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, I'm only going out if my guys are going.
I still do that.
Well, no, I'm saying that's.
I was gonna say we still do that.
That's
But yeah, I don't think that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I was so I brought up a couple times how many songs you guys have. I was really kind of interested in your choice to put out full-length records, but also to put out so many singles, right? Because it feels like it's almost one or the other for a lot of bands these days. Where it's like, okay, we're not going to put out a record, we're going to put out singles until, we're going to put out a song every couple of months, and we're going to have constant content throughout the year. And then we're going to put out an EP of whatever we didn't release, or things like that. You're seeing a lot of EPs and a lot of singles. What is it that's still kind of like attracting you guys to, while also doing that, but going like, we want to do a full length record. We want to do 10 songs, 12 songs. We want to put together a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up in the age that like records are what we consumed. We didn't, like right now, like I feel like younger people growing up, it's all about like the single. And we're obviously a little older, so it's like we always enjoyed the complete package with a record. So we're just really trying to find like the balance between like what we like to do and like what, how the music industry has changed. Because, with these, you can put out an album one time and get one shot, or you can put out, like you said, 5, 6 singles before that record comes out, and you have multiple opportunities to showcase that album. I don't know. We're an album band, and we like to, this is album number 4 at this point, and we kind of like to do something a little different each time. And I feel like it only makes sense if we package them up into something. And in our case, it's a record. So I think instead of like drastically changing sounds between singles and really like not being able to like find our footing, or like really for like our fans and listeners to understand what we're doing, it's like we use those album cycles to kind of do something different each time. So I think that's why it's like really important to us to keep on doing those records. Obviously, like, I don't know, like you said in the 7 questions, we are huge Taylor Swift fans, and just her like her grip on the whole album experience is just like incredible, that she's been able to like keep the album alive. And like we just like kind of want to follow suit with that. Like, I know people's attention spans are getting a lot smaller, but or a lot shorter, but it's like I still think there's room for that, like that album experience. People still like to buy like a vinyl record of, a collection of songs. And, the only way to really do that properly is for like a full length record. So I don't know. I think we're like a band that's always going to keep doing the full length thing, unless things like drastically change. I mean, it's nice that we can kind of output songs pretty quick. I think first and foremost, we are like songwriters before we are a band. So that's kind of how we've done 50 plus songs, where like we need an outlet to like, it just wouldn't make sense to keep on like putting out a song every week for the year. It's like at some point you have to bundle these up, and that's where like the record is important for us. So I don't know if you have a different opinion, Jason.
No, I think that's all kind of what I was thinking too. I think it depends on the artist too. Like maybe if you're like like a pop singer songwriter, or like a rapper or something, and like your sound's gonna either vary a lot or always sound the same no matter what. Whereas like Josh was saying, we kind of have, I think our sound has like progressed over time, and the album is just kind of like okay, this is a snapshot of what we sound like right now, and like what we're into, and like the music that we want to listen to right now. And then I don't know, it's just kind of cool to feel like, okay, we did that, we captured that, and now like if we want to make changes, or if there's maybe a different sound that we like, or something that we're getting more into, like the stuff that we're listening to, it kind of makes it feel like, okay, well, we have this like frozen in time, and it sounds like this, and then we can kind of move on from there.
So something you guys both brought up is the sound and the evolution of the sound and stuff like that, and something we were literally talking about before you guys came on was like, these guys are they're everywhere from here to here in terms of sound. Like there are a lot of different styles and a lot of different things rolled up in one, but within each record there is definitely a different style almost like attached to it. Is there anybody who specifically dictates that direction, or is there a conscious thought as to how that direction is kind of pulled or anything like that? Is there a driving force behind that kind of change?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the three of us, we kind of all have the same musical taste. And like I feel like fortunately that taste has kind of like changed. We've made those changes in musical taste together. So like our first record, we were really into the whole like I don't know, like the Warped Tour pop punk kind of
Right.
things. And then as we've gotten older, like we've gravitated more towards like the pop side of things. And I really think you can tell that like from that first record to our most recent record, that whole change and shift right there. In terms of like dictating what the sound is, I mean, like Alex, who sings for the band and is kind of like our primary songwriter, I feel like it always starts with him on like a vibe or a sound or whatever. But I think it's the three of us coming together with our current like influences, whether that's something like recent or something that we've like dove, like something like from the past, where we really can like formulate something that like all of us enjoy and all of us are like 100 and we're all in on that sound. So
Right.
I think it's the three of us, honestly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that you had said before that you're songwriters before you're a band, because that's I've always kind of like had that same kind of mentality. Like if someone asks me what I do, like I don't say I'm a singer or a guitar player. I always say like, I'm a songwriter. The first thing isn't I'm in a band. It's I'm a songwriter. I have a band and here's what I do for that. I love that thought process, and I listened to an interview you guys did where you guys were talking about how, speaking of like the changes in styles and everything, how it was always hard to kind of like fit you guys, like where do we put them, where do we book them? I relate to that super hard too. Like we're out, like we're not hard enough for the metal people, but we're too rock for the pop people, and we're too sing song. We're always the sore thumb of whatever show we're on. Which we like. I've come to totally embrace. Like, do you guys find that are you looking to more kind of like, okay, where do we fit still, or are you kind of like, hey, we're gonna fit wherever we are, kind of mentality when it comes to it at this point? How do you look at that at this point now? Does that make sense the way that I said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're 4 records into this thing. So at this point, we're just doing what we like to do, what we think sounds good, I feel like with anybody in a band, you guys as well, it's like you kind of write music that you like want to hear. So it's like, why would you?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Why would you try to like recreate something that somebody else is doing? Because most of the time, well, I would say 100% of the time, they're going to do it better than you because they've kind of like made that sound. It's like, there's not going to be another like Blink 182 or another like Third Eye Blind or so it's like you just gotta have to do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, it's like your art and you have to believe in it. You have to think it's good, and you're lucky if other people, you really are lucky if other people enjoy it as well. And I don't know. I just think you just have to write what you want to write. And like you said, that's always been our struggle with like, well, we think this sounds cool, but this doesn't fit here and this doesn't fit there. And I think that's really in the past, it's kind of been like, well, maybe we like aren't good or not doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, you just got to do this. Music's going to last way longer than like you're alive. So it's kind of, you just have to do what you enjoy doing, and not really like think too much about it. I don't think we really think about it anymore. It's like, we think this sounds cool. We think this is catchy. This is kind of the message we want to put out there. And we're like totally content with that, whether that's like, well received or not well received. So.
All right, quick timeout. I want to let everybody know that despite the summer being gone and heading into the fall, does not mean that grilling season is over.
No, if you have a grill, it is always grilling season.
I feel like it's just getting started, and if you're grilling, if you're cooking, if you're doing any of that, make sure you do that with grillyourassoff.com.
Taste the freedom.
Exactly. Grill Your Ass Off is an awesome, awesome company. It is made in Texas. It is veteran owned, and they were Small Business of the Year.
Yeah, Veteran Small Business of the Year 2023, which is awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
They also just partnered with Sailor Jerry. Now, rum may be my personal avoid at all costs booze, but some people really love it. And I guess I have to admit, even at its worst, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a new Sailor Jerry Ironsides barbecue sauce that you can check out too. And anything that you decide to get at grillyourassoff.com. You want a deal? You want a special? You want some money off? Use the promo code.
Bacon. Because everything's better with bacon.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Come on. 10% off. Get it on all of their jerkies, all of their seasonings, all of their condiments, even their swag. Their swag is pretty sweet.
Yeah, spread some seasoning on those swags.
So definitely head over to grillyourassoff.com, use the promo code BACON for 10% off, and always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
What's up, everybody? I'm Matt, the host of the Beard Laws Podcast, a podcast that has nothing to do with beards. A podcast where we aim to entertain and interact with our live viewers, but our listeners, they're like the quiet person that never talks sitting around the bonfire because the rest of the group is so entertaining, hilarious, wild, and a little bit dumb. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and let Beard Laws and the boys, Toby, Brandon, Logan, Zach, Richie, and our occasional special guest entertain you. We're live on the Beard Laws YouTube Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for whatever reason you want to see us and or our beards, check us out, thebeardlawspodcast.com. We're everywhere.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Well, it's like you don't really have that much control over that at that point. You just have to put out the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, I'm super jazzed about this. Maybe it'll find people like me that are into it. And
well, I think that's that's something that I read about the new record is that it's kind of that journey to that outlook, because a lot of times it was a lot of we both done it too. It's like the popularity of something dictates the success of it.
Right.
As opposed to, okay, well, I'm doing what I want to do,
right,
and I've done it. That's a success within itself.
Yeah. Or this song I wrote is getting a really good reaction. Do I have to write another one now?
Songs that
Do I have to write another one like that now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
Not everybody's going to be the next Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Apparently, no one is.
Absolutely.
So Josh, I wanted to ask you, since the 7 questions, you said one of your bacons is TikTok, and man, we're both trying, and
it's hard, man.
We're like, we're old guys like you, but
well, is your bacon doing things on TikTok or getting into TikTok rabbit holes and watching TikTok?
So for me personally, it's consuming TikTok.
Okay,
but
yes.
I see where you're going with this, and Alex and I were just talking. Alex, who sings in the band, we're just talking about like being a band, a musician in 2023, and it's like we've been so used to like releasing a song and like creating a music video, where this whole new like TikTok is like definitely like another muscle you just have to like it's a whole other thing that's just piled on top of everything else that you normally have to do, where we're struggling with it as well, but I think now we are trying to use our social media, TikTok specifically, kind of how we like view our music. Like, let's just put out content that we enjoy. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, like, don't beat yourself up.
Right.
It's just like, because at the end of the day, it's like, what? So I guess like with music, right, with like musicians on TikTok, it's the whole lip syncing thing. And I was just talking to somebody, I was like, I'm so sick of that right now. Like, even as like somebody consuming TikTok, I hate just like seeing somebody lip sync. It's just like so like not genuine, where I would rather like take that time to like create like something that we think is funny or clever because it's like enjoyable to us. Right. So it's like, I just feel like people get so consumed with like, how am I going to be viral? Like, what is like everybody doing right now to be successful? Which, I mean, you kind of have to have that in the back of your head if you're like really trying to, I don't know. I probably have a completely different opinion about TikTok and stuff like that than most people. And obviously there's people that are way successful than us that are doing TikTok, right. But yeah, I mean, TikTok's tough.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things that always hits with me now when I talk about TikTok is when our buddies at Felicity,
yes,
for this new batch of songs, instead of going and
Genius.
getting like,
blew my mind.
They were like, okay, well, instead of doing 4 or 5 music videos, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get like 13 minutes worth or 26 different videos.
Yeah, the way they said it
Done.
that totally struck me was they were like, we're taking our music video budget for one video and we're making 10 different videos for 10 different songs because we only have to make a 20-second video for each, and we can just, that'll take up our music video budget, but it still sends people to the
right.
And I was
That's
just like,
smart.
that's so
genius,
smart. I feel so dumb for not thinking about that.
What was funny too is for some of the stuff they didn't even have a song ready for it.
Right.
So they were like this is just like B-roll footage of them and stuff that they did, and they just applied it to the song, and it's like, oh, that's
you can do that.
Smart. That's really smart.
You don't have to do something linearly with a plan.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, you definitely just kind of have to like figure out what works for your band. Like, we did. I don't remember how long ago this was. We filmed a bunch of videos of us just like lip syncing and like kind of like jamming in one of our cars once, and we were all like physically sick. We were like, if this is what we have to do, like we don't want to be successful. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And that's really the way I think we've thought about a lot of things with this album, like social media and stuff. It's like Josh was saying, we just want to do stuff that we want to do, because like if we have to sit there and make like dancey lip singy TikToks for us to be a huge band, like I don't want to do that.
So I want to sit in a room shirtless with a puppy, I'm going to do
it.
So
so it's just like figuring out what's genuine for you and like trying to make it work and not trying to focus too much on like what's going to go viral.
Right.
My favorite TikTok person is a dude named The Rockstar. And what he does is he takes people's pet videos and he voices over the animals. And it's hilarious.
My favorite is Mr. Chicken.
Everyone should find it because it's
Mr. Chicken is great.
So goddamn funny.
Mr. Chicken is a
Mr.
rubber
Chicken's
chicken.
Also pretty great.
Who
you sent me that one. That was pretty
good. Well, we put it on an episode and we laughed our asses off.
That's right.
He basically uses a rubber chicken to sing songs. So like Under the Bridge from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And the whole time is pretty fantastic.
The Zeppelin was great.
The Zeppelin was
Yeah. Have you seen there's a guy who has like dip cans and he like shakes them like this, but he does the drums to metal songs with it.
No, I have not seen that.
It's insane. I don't remember his name, but you got to try to find it somehow. It's so nuts.
That's fantastic.
Well, it's so funny. Jen asked me the other day because she was scrolling. My wife Jen was like scrolling through stuff and she saw like this hack for like curling your hairs with socks or whatever. And she's like, these are like really amazing hacks, but why do people have time to find these really amazing hacks? Like, do they really have that much time on their hands where they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna put a sock in my head?
Yeah, like how do you stumble into that?
Yeah, right. That's
Josh. What kind of TikTok rabbit holes are your jams?
What's your preferred?
Man, what I feel like I'm anywhere and everywhere. So I feel like you can really use TikTok to really solidify like friendships with like sending people certain TikToks. I feel like I would send Jason something totally different than what I would send Alex.
For sure.
So my FYP is like all over the page, or all over the place. I don't know. I just like stuff that makes me laugh. And it could be like the dumbest thing. I don't even know an example. I'm not really too into like educational TikTok or like hacks like that. I just want like something to distract me and make me laugh. So that's where I'm at with that.
I'm with you. I don't want to learn anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I feel bad too. Like so there's a buddy of ours that literally on our, I don't know if you've ever seen it on our TikTok page. Every time I log in, like I'll look at it every few days because now we're starting to put TikToks up.
Right.
And every few days I'll do it, and there's like 7 messages from him, and he's like, "So and so sent you this video," and it's like, why is he sending me 8 videos? I don't have time for this shit. Are you that guy, Josh? Are you that guy?
I think I am. I think you just called me out.
I think we both are. You definitely, like, once you send like 2 or 3 in a row, it kind of like raises the standard for how funny the next one needs to be to like keep it rolling.
I would think it has to. Yeah. You can't like if you send
a lot of pressure. I don't want to.
You can't send your A material first. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta build up. But what Mike is saying is that he wants your TikToks. Everyone, please send Mike.
Go ahead.
Many TikToks
At Jimmy G Shoes.
Hey, have you ever wondered how you could actually help the show out? I mean, not just like listening and giving a 5-star review or buying a T-shirt or working with
a little bit
sponsors.
of extra zazz.
Yeah. Are you one of those people that likes extra stuff? That likes a little bit more? Can't spell extraordinary without that little extra.
Exactly. So if you like that stuff, if you want a little bit of extra bacon, like tasting shows and cooking shows and early access to episodes, I mean, shoot, you can't get any earlier than live.
That's true.
Every week we do our discussion and drinks live for our patrons over at patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
Check it out. Check out the tiers. See what's right for you. Help us out. We love you. Thanks for being a part of it. Remember to ask yourself, what's your bacon?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, at Bacon is my podcast.
At me my own self.
I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a personal
At
TikTok.
Bacon is my podcast. Go ahead, send them.
Yeah.
Send them all the stuff.
At Bacon is my pod.
Yeah.
You always fuck it up.
I do.
You always do.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm the worst.
I just I don't know. I can't. I think it's almost like Chat GBT where I just don't know how to use the medium yet.
Right.
I don't understand. I followed a bunch of people on ours. So the only TikTok knowledge I have is of our actual account for the podcast.
Okay.
So like I have the people that we followed, and I see a video come up of somebody that we know, and I'm just like, I don't want to watch this. So like,
yeah.
I don't know how to use it. I think I need to like go like, what do you search for? Do you go like funny video, and then you just click on it and just keep going, or is it like very specific where you're like, okay, well, I want to watch a bunch of shit about people doing flipping pancakes.
Jug band playing AC/DC.
Right. Like, how do you fall into those rabbit
holes? It was pretty incredible.
How do you fall into
I feel like TikTok is like, I don't know about you guys, but I spend most of when I'm on like Instagram or Twitter, I don't do a lot of the like For You stuff. Like I only want to see the people I follow on those.
Yeah.
I feel like TikTok, it's the opposite, where I spend most of my time on the For You, and it just starts to learn what you like the more you scroll through stuff. It's like the more you're on it, the more like dialed in it gets, and it just like sucks up your whole life.
Okay. Yeah, because this is like
let the algorithm learn all your imprint.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, because when I pull it up and it's just like certain things, I'm like, I don't care about this. I'm turning this off.
Yeah.
We had a hacker on recently, just letting you know we're all fucked.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Really?
Skynet. Skynet has nothing on what's going on.
We're screwed.
Dang.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy for them.
They create like their own fake servers with a cell phone.
Yeah.
It's
so everything you do has to go through their phone before it goes to whatever cell tower it is.
Pinging cell tower.
So they're just watching you log in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You and everyone else in a 10-mile radius that's logging into their
pretty
bank.
fantastic.
Logging into TikTok. They're just like, yeah, all right. see what
That's
Jason's doing right now.
That's one of those things I feel like I'm glad that I don't know more about it, or I probably would like throw my electronics in the toilet and like
Don't,
never get online again.
Don't even start to learn.
Yeah, I don't want to.
One conversation with her, and it was like one question, because most of the stuff was their band, but like one question, she was like, "I'm a hacker," and it's like, "Oh, how fucked are we?" And she was like, "Oh." Dude, you know, all the things you're worried about are nothing.
Yeah, and then he brings up, he's like, well, I use like, you know, that randomizer password thing, and she's like, oh, that's cute.
She's like, yeah, adorable. I'm like, shit.
Dang, I have one of those too.
Yeah. Well, you know, as long as it's a placebo.
Makes you feel better.
Makes you feel better.
Exactly.
That's all that really matters.
So Jason, what's your guilty escape?
TikTok for sure. I spend a lot of time on YouTube also. YouTube is just like the best thing ever.
What's your YouTube rabbit holes that you go down?
So many different things. I have like gaming stuff that I watch. I'll watch stuff about like architecture, interior design, like just the most random stuff. Like I've been super into like longevity and all that stuff lately, so I've been watching a bunch of stuff about that.
Nice.
I
was just telling him, and I want to say this guy's name on here just because he's so great. So I'm just going to look at my my YouTube history real quick. So there's this guy that I've been watching. Where are you?
Is it the guy from the YouTube show or the Netflix special?
No.
Apparently, there's a Netflix special that Jen told me that you can live. This guy lives to 100, and he suggested
Rob TV, everyone.
Oh,
and he's this dude that he decided that what he was going to do is he was like, I am going to I'm gonna try white people music. I'm gonna listen to it. I listen to majority of what I listen to is hip hop, but I'm gonna try out some white people music. And he's just reacting to it. And everyone go watch him listening to Killing in the Name of Rage Against the Machine. I will tell you, like, the joy that I get of watching someone fall in love with something they've never heard before is amazing. And watching him just totally like get wrapped up in that, like, get super excited, throw his headphones off, and be like, what the fuck is this? It's just so amazing that I recommend it to everybody. That's if you want to see somebody full of absolute joy and love, falling in love with great music, this is one to watch. And it's also hilarious because he gets so amped up and animated into it. So he's one that I've recently fallen into watching him react to like everything. I watched him react to like Alice in Chains Wood, and he was like, "This is ass." He was like, "I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry." He's like, "The shit is boring. The song goes nowhere. This is ass."
Too funny. I'm gonna have to watch him.
It's really good. It's really good. All right, force him to watch one once we get off here.
When you Google Rob TV, the first thing that pops up is Rob TV Rage Against the Machine.
Nice. It's the one. It's definitely the one.
we're gonna log off this and we're gonna watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it.
I want to see it.
It's so good. You guys should do the same because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But guys,
I love seeing people happy, man.
Yeah,
it's the best.
I need more of that.
Absolutely the best. That's the other thing I also like about you guys' music and your attitude and everything that comes out. It's like, man, the world needs more positivity. The world needs more joy, you know, and bringing joy with music is pretty. There's always a place. There's always a place to be pissed. There's always a place for angst and rage. But I love when I get to hear stuff and just kind of be like, oh man, this makes me feel good to listen to. You know, like I'm jamming with it, and the lyrics are really good. The melodies are great. The music is really good. So it's one of those things. It makes you feel good. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys for
thanks, man,
putting out great music.
Yeah. You saying that makes us feel good. So full circle
cycle
moment right
now.
now.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, that's what we try. That's what we try to do here.
For show. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We've taken up a lot of your time. But before we sign out here, let everybody know where they can find everything a story told and all about the new record coming out this Friday.
This Friday.
Woo. Yeah, so you can find us anywhere on the internet, A Story Told Band. Don't Google it. Don't Google A Story Told. We are not SEO friendly with our band name. But yeah, like our new record, Mundane Magic, comes out October 20th. 12 songs. You've probably heard most of them at this point. But yeah, we're excited about it.
We're excited about it too, man.
We are too. Yeah, definitely. Check. I can't wait to hear the whole record. I'm excited to. I'm excited to front to back it, and I don't do that with a lot of records.
The experience.
I don't do that.
The record experience.
Yeah, I'm very excited to do that.
A lost art.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and one more time quickly. Did it change, Josh, Jason? What's your bacon? Have you thought of a different one?
Well, you really were like opening my eyes to what that truly does mean. So yes, TikTok is still a great answer, but I'm going to agree with just the little things in life are my bacon, like a good meal or good conversation, a good song. So I think my answer has expanded since the initial question. So
nice.
I like it. Jason, how about you?
I would agree. I'll say having nothing to do sometimes is my bacon.
Oh, definitely, dude.
That is a great bacon, dude. That is a great bacon.
Yeah.
Like just having no plans, no obligations, no nothing, just chilling.
I don't have a deadline. All right. I'm in.
That's a good one.
That's a solid one, man. That's excellent.
I love that.
Nice. Everybody listening, just remember every single day to ask yourself that very important question. Jason, Josh, what do they ask themselves?
What's your bacon?
There it is. There it is.
A story told.
Yes. I was going to say the exact same thing, and you nailed it.
Well, that's our minds.
See?
We're on
dumb brains think alike.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one human.
Yeah, a lot of fun talking to those guys. I really enjoy their music.
I do too, man.
It's really cool because if sometimes I'll go and I'll listen to the new things first, only because that's what you probably should do since you're
right.
Who knows what kind of personnel changes there are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually just went like most listened song and just went back, and a lot of their new stuff did come up, and it's all over the place in terms of genre.
It is, but it isn't.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And it's all really good.
Yeah, that's what, like, honestly, I related to them on a lot of levels as far as just being a band that, like, moved around with their genre.
Yeah.
And definitely, like, had a hard time fitting into things. Like,
right.
I totally get that, which is super cool. And I love a good hook and a good melody, and they got both.
Yeah.
They got both.
Yeah. Really, really, really enjoy them. Hopefully we'll see them again. Hopefully they hit the road in 2024 when they rest up and recharge their batteries. Hopefully we can see them locally. Jimsy.
Yeah.
Jimsy, where can they find you?
Oh, man. You can find me. You can find me, all my things. Jimmy G Shoes on all the socials. My band Craven Strangers is at cravenstrange.net. Find us there. We're working on new music.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna put out a vinyl. I think we're gonna do that.
Nice.
I think we're gonna. I got all kinds of weird things to consider now that I'd never considered before, which are interesting. But we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, I think we're gonna be doing that. So just jump on and check our music out on all the streaming platforms and stuff, and cravenstrange.net, and jump on the socials and kind of see what we're up to, because I think we're going to be doing some cool stuff. We just started recording, and
Sweet.
Yeah, might be some cool stuff, so check it out. How about you, man?
Very excited. Me, personally, you can catch me at Me My Own Self Mike. You can find out what's going on in my life, my kids, my paranormal adventures.
Yeah.
It's going to be happening soon.
I want
can't wait.
We're gonna do something too. By the way, I have to talk to you about something else. By the way,
yes.
So
The answer is yes.
Yes. So me, myself, Mike, my band, Something Heavy. We are going to be putting out a new single. It is going to be coming out at the beginning of November. It is going to be called Hurt. And I am super excited. We worked with Dave Caggiano, the guy that has done a lot of Craving Strange stuff over the past few years. I'm super excited to put it out. So
I'm
be on
super
the
excited
lookout.
to hear it. I'm so excited. You know what else Dave is doing?
He's also doing a little something called Bacon is My Passion.
We have a show this week.
It's happening.
Or next week.
Next week.
Sorry,
it's
when this
actually
comes out
fucking
next
happening.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. I am excited.
I am terrified.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's all new material.
Yeah.
That we're relearning.
That I have no idea how we're going to sing and play.
We're going to figure it out.
we
have no choice.
We have to figure it out.
No choice.
But I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
so
go
if
check
you're in
out
the area, if you're in the New York area, get in touch with us and come check out the show. It's going to be, first one
ever.
Who knows? It might be the only one.
Yeah, right.
You never know.
You
never know. But it's going to be fun regardless, and the bands we're on with are awesome. So it's going to be super cool. So jump in the socials and let us know.
Do it.
Another way you can actually know about things if you're into Bacon Is My Passion stuff is the Bacon Is My Podcast stuff. BaconsMyPodcast.com for everything and anything that has anything to do with this show and us. So definitely check that out. Thank you for whatever streaming service you're listening on. We do appreciate that. Send us those 5-star reviews or those thumbs ups or those shares or whatever you got. Stay in the conversation. Hashtag What's your bacon? Hashtag Bacon Is My Pod. And speaking of Bacon Is My Pod, you can join us over at patreon.com/Bacon Is My Pod.
No!
Cast.
Damn it!
Why do I always think it's the other one?
I don't know.
I always think it's the other one.
I was like, oh, he's got it. Then you said, Bacon Is My Pod.
Cast.
Yeah.
I always think it's the other one. Bacon Is My Podcast over at patreon.com. Become a patron.
Yeah.
Check out the tiers, check out all the extra stuff, and see if you want to be a part of it. We appreciate you if you do. And all of you that are on it, thank you guys so much. And
thank you for enjoying this early and ad-free.
Yeah, and checking out the free discussions and drinks with us every week. So
yes,
we
absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Check us out in the den.
Oh, yeah.
Check us out in the den.
We are now part of the den.
I'm super excited. Fuck it, I'll just say it. We have a really awesome crossover episode that is going to be coming out in November with one of our favorite podcasts within the Deluxe Edition Network at deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
History.
Yeah.
I'd like to follow.
Yeah. It's happening. It's going down. Crossover episode next month.
It's gonna be fun.
You heard it here first. Guys, until then, the next time you hear our beautiful voices for discussion and
until
drinks.
that next time. Remember to ask yourself every single day, what is that thing that makes your day better?
More gooder.
What's your bacon?
Yeah. World peace.
Ha!
The Deluxe Edition Network, also known as The Den, is an incredible podcast network that offers a wide variety of entertaining and informative podcasts.
With a lineup of shows covering various topics, such as interviews with a wide variety of guests, history, music, relationships, true crime, and so much more. The Den provides content that caters to a diverse range of interests.
The hosts and guests on the Deluxe Edition Network demonstrate a deep passion and expertise in their respective fields, making each episode on each show engaging and thought-provoking.
The network fosters a sense of community by encouraging listeners to interact through live chats, social media, and forums, creating an inclusive environment for discussion and sharing opinions.
With its commitment to high-quality production, the shows in the Deluxe Edition Network continue to captivate and entertain its ever-growing audience.
Whether you're a podcast enthusiast or someone looking to explore new topics, The Den is a fantastic platform to dive into and uncover fascinating insights from experts in their fields.
The Deluxe Edition Network is the home of independent awesomeness.